It's Ingrid and Lesley Go Global Week, and we've had some incredible guests sharing their decluttering expertise this week to celebrate the North American launch of our book, Reset Your Home. So, we thought we'd take it down a notch, well, several notches in fact, and have some fun. It's time for Lesley and I to go hypothetical. 5 questions you never knew you needed answering by your podcast hosts.
You're listening to the Declutter Hub podcast, bringing you tried and tested, no-nonsense tips and advice from the leading experts in decluttering and organising your home. Now here are your hosts, Ingrid Jansen and Lesley Spellman.
Hello and welcome, listeners. I'm Ingrid.
And I'm Lesley.
If you're new to the Declutter Hub podcast, you're so welcome. What you'll find is that we try and find a fun factor in the serious business of decluttering. And if you've been here for a while, you know exactly what we mean. So thank you so much for listening.
If you'd like to get involved in conversations relating to this podcast, it all takes place in our Facebook group. So come and join our lovely, warm, supportive community. To find the Facebook group, go to declutterhub.com/group to find out more. Or you can search for the Declutter Hub community on Facebook.
Well, Lesley, gosh, what a week! What a week! We've had so many amazing guests on our podcast for Ingrid and Lesley Go Global Week. But of course, we also wanted to do a podcast for our lovely listeners, right? In this important week that we are having with the launch of our Reset Your Home book in North America. Well, I mean, what an honor it is to be now published authors around the world. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's super exciting. So the US and Canada have been waiting for so long. They've been waiting for like 4 months, haven't they? For the 24th of June publication. Australia and New Zealand, not that we knew about it, we heard very last minute, published 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? So they've already got it. So if you're in Australia and New Zealand, you can buy it today. No problem. But we wanted to be in on the action, didn't we, Ingrid? And I know when we did our Ingrid and Lesley week, which we did when it was the UK publication of our book, it's probably, well, people told us that they liked the podcast where we did 10 fun things that you didn't know about Ingrid and Lesley. So we thought we'd continue on in that vein. Let me tell you, today has been one of the longest podcasts that we've ever had to prepare. Because Ingrid's not quite tuned in to how hypothetical fun questions really work. We might go into as we go through it. So I think we're getting there. Are we getting there in terms of?
I think I'm just too serious, Lesley. I took it all too serious. These hypothetical questions.
I'm like, that's hypothetical fun questions. You're not supposed to say the exact thing. You know what I mean? So anyway, so I think we're there, but it's taken quite a long way. So if there's a sense of frustration, Ingrid, what were you like?
I know. I think maybe I'm just too serious or something. Or my Dutch, like, act normal, then you're crazy enough kind of thing suddenly came through there. Because we've got this saying in Holland which says, act normal because then you're crazy enough. So, like, don't go, like, have all these kind of, just ideas above your station. So maybe the hypothetical situation at the beginning kind of was lost on me a little bit. Lost in translation there, Lesley.
Got lost on you. I'm just going to give you one example before we get into the real hypothetical questions. So as an example, so the question was, if you were going to be a kitchen appliance, which kitchen appliance would you be? So I go, I'm going to be a microwave because it's quick and you get quick results. You can go in, quick fix, done, sorted. You get it? Ingrid, well, I want to be a washing machine because it cleans the clothes nicely and you get no stains. I'm like, we're not saying what appliance do you like in your kitchen? This is like, what one would you be? So that basically was the tone of it. So we've ditched the appliance because Ingrid couldn't think of a fun answer. Fun answer. So we're going to go on to the actual ones. That was a little bonus one, right? But that just gives you, if I sense a little bit of frustration, that's where we're at. I know. My creative business partner at her very best.
Right. So we're going to start with one that I completely got immediately. And that is, if you had to eat only one cuisine for the rest of your life, what would it be? Lesley.
It's a tough one, really tough. And it is a question, it's one of those hypothetical questions that you get asked all the time, right? What's your favorite food? And what, if you could only have one for the rest of your life, what would it be? And
Mhm.
so I think I'm going to have to go for something that's healthy, generally, and that has got quite a lot of versatility within the actual cuisine itself. So
Hmm.
I'm going to go Japanese.
That is very sensible. That would have not even entered my top 10, Lesley, of all the things.
Japanese
But
wouldn't
maybe it's
Japanese wouldn't enter in your top 10.
no,
What, you don't like ramen and sushi and
no. I like ramen. I don't like sushi. Maybe that's, but so I associate Japanese food with sushi. And that's the one thing I don't like is the rice. I love all the raw fish. I'm like, bring it to me now. But the rice in the sushi is like, to the despair of my son, who absolutely loves sushi. You can wake him up for it. I'm like, no. I've tried it and tried it and tried it. I just don't see the benefit of it, of
I
the
just think
sushi.
it's so much more than sushi. I feel
I
like
know, but
like
I
10,
know.
15% of Japanese
Yeah,
food.
but
But
maybe
when
so
I'm
that
saying Japanese, I'm not necessarily thinking about sushi, although that would form a part of it. So that's quite
yeah.
nice. And
Well, I
I'm
have not been to Japan yet, Leslie. That's on my bucket list. As you remember from our previous conversation,
yes.
Japan is on my bucket list. So maybe that's why I need to go to Japan and eat all of the. But I love ramen. That is true. Ramen and noodles and
Katsu
all of them.
curry,
Yeah,
ramens.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just so
yeah.
much,
I
so
know. I
much.
know.
So I'm
I
going,
know.
I'm going down the Japanese route because I'm going healthy and versatile.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to, well, it depends on how you eat it, of course, but my cuisine, the first thing that popped into my mind before two other ones that really, it was difficult to choose, but it has to be Italian. It has to be Italian. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love all the I mean, because my sister I went on holiday with my sister to Italy a very long I mean, we met multiple times, but one time we were in this all-inclusive resort where the kind of the grandmother of the family was in the kitchen and she still made all of the pasta. So we had the all of the different types, including the black pasta, like spaghetti type, and of course each pasta has its own sauce. I was in food heaven. Let me tell you, I just love everything about it. I just love, and I also love the pizzas and all of the things, but all the different pastas with the different sauces and oh,
It gives you a lot of versatility as well, Italian. It's a
yeah,
good choice. It's a good choice,
yeah,
because you can go healthy on Italian as well, even though
yeah,
it doesn't sound like you're going down that route with. I mean, pasta's okay, to be fair. Uh, she's all into the creamy sauces, the garlic
yeah.
bread. Yeah, there are other things there. Yeah, no, but I think what would be my second choice might be Indian. I do love Indian. I love
Mm,
Asia, everything Asian, right? So I love Asian
yeah,
food in general.
yeah,
So it would
yeah,
definitely be over that side of the world.
yeah. Yeah. For me,
Definitely.
my second choice is definitely French cuisine. Definitely. But Jan's with you. My husband loves Asian food, so Indonesian food, and he could eat rice and things like that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He would be very, very happy. So when we went on honeymoon to Bali, he was like, I am in heaven. I mean, apart
Yeah.
from the lovely weather and a nice hotel and all of that, and being married to me, and of course. But no, never mind.
But I think, interestingly, French, even though I know it's the basis for so many cuisines around the world,
Mm,
if I went to a French restaurant, that would probably be my really low on the list because it's
interesting.
all a bit rich for me. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
Like,
mm,
stereotypical French food. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? It's all a little bit rich, and so that would be low on
Mm,
my list. That would be
yeah.
very low on my list, actually. Although I do get that French food is the kind of that's crazy to say that, isn't it? But it's very rich,
Yeah.
isn't it? So.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we started
Oh,
with an easy one that Ingrid could answer, so we're okay. So we're in business. The second one we did have some problem with, so I might tell you our alternative answer is because. But we're going fun, Ingrid. Fun,
yeah.
fun, out the box, thinking.
Yes. So
Okay.
yeah, I misunderstood this. I'm not gonna lie. It says if you weren't a professional organizer, what would you be? So I took this far too literal and went, well, I would be a facilities manager because that's what I was before I was a professional organizer. And Lesley went, you're again missing the point, Ingrid. You're missing the point. But
About
then
dreaming of what life could have been like if you didn't go down the path that you're in at the moment.
I
I would like
know.
to be facilities manager, says he. I'm like, facilities manager. It's not exactly the first thing that rolls off. Not that there's anything wrong with being a facilities
No,
manager.
it's actually a really fun job.
It's not like a dream. It's not like a
I know,
dream
I
job, is
know.
it?
But I got on board. I got on board, and I knew it. And then I kind of said, and you said something that I did not expect, but we're actually quite similar, which what I think that made me laugh the hardest. Because Lesley, what do you want to be if you weren't a professional organizer?
I mean, I know that it's probably not a career, but if there's one thing that I see, because let me give you a bit of context. I'm completely obsessed with like police camera action type drop reality police shows, where they show what goes on behind the scenes, 24 hours in police custody, and even dramas, police dramas, Line of Duty, all of that kind of thing. I'm all over it, right? So I love a bit of reality. But what I feel like I've got a bit of a power thing. And so what I'd like is, that those people who go with the armed response units to like go into drug dens and stuff like that. And there's one person who has the battering ram. So his sole purpose, probably a man, it could be a woman as well, is to batter the door down and shout, "Oh, police!" And that's the job that I want. I just feel like it's like a power thing. It'd be amazing. Like you're creating this ability for, for all the people, all those armed police officers, very serious armed police officers with the helmets and everything, and you're there with your battering ram, just making that happen. Love that.
You know what? I actually, so just for clarity here, I did say to Leslie that the person with the battery ram is probably also a very well trained armed
Yeah.
police person with a helmet and weaponry and stuff like this. He just happens to have the battery ram. But yeah, it made me laugh because actually my job would also be a police officer, not necessarily the person with the battery ram. That has not occurred to me. But yeah, when I grew up, I wanted to be a police officer. Yeah.
Like what kind of police officer? You can't just
Well,
be a police officer. No,
yeah.
you've got to be specific, Ingrid. Like it's a lot. Like what, like the superintendent, a detective, a Bobby on the beat. Like what kind
Yeah,
of police
probably. Yeah,
officer?
I really saw myself as somebody with on the streets that would like in the community that would talk to people and tell young kids off that they were dropping litter on the floor, that kind of thing.
So like a community support
Yeah,
officer.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know really. Would you be, are you, I don't know really. I'm not sure about that. I think you've go down the kind of telling people off or breaking the law a little bit too literally.
Yeah.
Would there be enough nuance in it? I'm a bit nervous about that. You know what I
That's the
mean?
reason why I didn't get admitted to the police academy, Leslie. I think for me it
Did you
was just
try? Did you
yeah,
try?
yeah,
Did you?
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
I actually I applied. So I had two roads that I was like, I need to have my options. So one was okay, I would like to try and go into the police academy, or one was I would like to go in hotel and hospitality, that kind of thing. So yeah,
And why
so
did they say no?
probably because I'm just too, as you know, I'm too black and white. For me, gray is tricky.
Exactly. So could be a police officer and you went down the facilities manager
Yeah,
route.
yeah,
And now
yeah.
you're a professional
I
organizer,
know.
stroke podcaster, stroke membership owner,
Struck.
stroke author,
Yeah,
actually.
I know. It's
Stroke
incredible.
author. Well, I bet you never thought you were going to be an author, did you?
No, exactly. Exactly. That's for sure. That's for sure. Oh my gosh. I must admit, I do enjoy these questions actually, because, and I hope you do too, listeners, because you already know a lot about us, but who would have known that Leslie wanted to be an armed police officer with a battering ram?
I know. It's quite sinister, really, isn't it? But I
Oh,
am completely obsessed. I'm completely obsessed with police and
mm,
prisons. Same, right? I'm just, I don't know. But I
yeah.
wouldn't want to be a prison officer.
Oh God.
That's too hard. Or
It's
actually, a police officer is very hard as well.
yeah.
I think when I got into it, I'd be like, oh no, this is too hard. I just need to
Yeah.
hide behind my desk. Just talking about decluttering is a much easier
Yeah.
route.
Yeah.
But
I know.
yeah,
I know you do. You watch a lot of reality and stuff like that. I don't really watch that, but I do love a good crime series and a Line of Duty, of course, as well. Goliath was amazing. Bosch, Netflix. I mean, there's so many great Day of the Jackal when they transfer their appearance. I mean, it's like all like amazing, isn't it? So I would always watch that over anything else. I'm not really into, I know we're going off topic here, but things like horror or something, I would be far too afraid.
I think, there's a real pattern to the kinds of things that I like, really. So you know that I love a podcast, but I love a podcast that's autobiographical or biographical about somebody. So I love interview podcasts where you learn about people. I
Mm,
like reality TV because I like learning about the people, even though sometimes they go a little bit too far and are quite unethical, to be fair. I like things like 24 Hours in Police Custody because I like to understand the process that the people go
mm,
through. So everything that I do is about the kind of emotional connection or the process. So documentaries. I like documentaries on things as well. So that would be my go-to. Reality TV is a bit of a kind of, guilty pleasure, but documentaries would be my, real
mm.
life
Yeah.
go-to, and true crime documentaries
Mm.
as well as that. I love all that
So
kind
it's
of stuff.
fascinating,
Yes.
fascinating, definitely. Right. Well, let's do one more then, just because we can. Right. Okay, Lesley. So, if you could instantly master one hobby or skill, what would you choose?
I would be a professional dancer.
Can you not dance at all?
No, I got
You,
thrown out of ballet class. And I was three, apparently. I mean, I don't know. My mum told me this. I need to delve deeper, but she's not around anymore to ask her now. I'm like, I really want to delve deep into why I got thrown out. Why she didn't fight for me? Like fight for me in the ballet, right? I'm gonna be a ballet dancer.
but did you not do like ballroom lessons when you were 12,
No,
13,
I
14?
got thrown out at 3 years old and never returned again to dancing. And I've never done any dancing since. The only thing I did with my mother-in-law when I was about 22, she was Irish, we did a line dancing together. So that
Yeah.
was the that was the only thing. I don't even like dancing that much. Like I actually don't. I'm not really a dancer, so I don't know why I want to be a dancer. If I went to like a nightclub or something, I wouldn't choose to dance. And so I'm not quite sure, but I just think it's a really
Wow.
nice kind of exotic, So if I wasn't using the battering ram, I'd like to be Diane Buswell from Strictly Come Dancing. I look
I
like
know.
her as well.
I
I look like her
immediately,
as well.
I know, and because I've done so much dancing, like I did, gymnastics, and that morphed into jazz ballet, and that morphed into ballroom dancing, so quick step and tango and cha cha cha, and I did rock and roll, I did tango dancing, as everybody knows, and then I've always loved. I would be the first one on the dance floor, like in any party, because I absolutely love it. So I'm just, I hadn't considered that people would like not dance.
Yeah. I was a bit rubbish really as a child on everything. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I had any skills. Do you know what I did? Do you know what I did as a child? This is kind of quite bizarre, and people think this is quite strange. So, because I told you I lived in a vicarage and everything. My grandparents were
Yeah.
kind of in the clergy, and so they took me to elocution lessons.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was where I get my dulcet tones. So I think they wanted to kind of wipe the Lancashire accent out of me, and it's like so not gone, has it? It's like there. So yeah, I went to elocution lessons. That's the only thing that I did really as a child. You didn't do all the after school things. I mean,
No,
you obviously
no.
did. It still wasn't the same. Now you can do anything. Your kids
Yeah.
do all kinds of things. There wasn't stuff like after school apart from rounders and football and netball. That was the only
Yeah.
thing. I was
Yeah.
rubbish at sport. The only thing I could do is run fast. So I could do 100 meters back in the day. So I was quite good at that. But other than that, I was absolutely rubbish at everything. Everything, honestly.
Wow.
And even at school, the only thing I could do was translate things from one language to another. That was the only thing that I was good at. How bad is that?
And now you're good at so many things.
What, like what?
Like everything that we like with running the business. I'm like, like you like can do everything.
I've got no skills, and I've got no, I'm not. I don't really. Yeah, I'm not really interested in the news. I literally, I live my life in reality TV and podcasts, talking about people. If it's not about people and emotional connection, I'm not interested. Just switch off straight away. That's maybe why the battering ram would be a good option. But yeah, you probably got to think and
Oh.
be creative to be a dancer as well. But yeah, so I would like to be a dancer.
Well, let me tell you what I would love. hobby or skill, I would love to be able to play an instrument, and specifically the saxophone.
Oh,
Yes, I just find it such an amazing instrument. And but I've never been blessed with learning how to read notes. It that completely went past me. So although I was singing, I was dancing, reading notes, which while my sister learned to play the flute, she could did the guitar for a while, but just the fact that I had to read music to be able to do these things, I was like, I'm out. But I would love to, because there's this Dutch saxophonist called Candy Dulfer, and she's world famous, and she played with Prince on one of his albums, and she played with I mean several like world known celebrities. She went on tour with Prince, and I thought, how cool is that? This Dutch girl with this saxophone, and she's like traveling the world. So yeah, if I could play an instrument, that would be the one. My kids both play the clarinet, bass clarinet. We actually have a saxophone here downstairs in my living room, because Max kind of dabbled in trying to play it for a little bit, and it's been kind of humming and hung if she wants to learn. But it wouldn't even occur to me to pick it up and try it, because it's like so far out of my comfort zone. But if I could overnight do one thing, that would be like
Ingrid, can I just
amazing.
say, you're talking about things being out of your comfort zone. You've literally just started tennis and you're throwing yourself around the tennis court like a crazy thing at the moment and can't walk for 5 days. So I think you have taken yourself out of your comfort zone with your
Yeah,
tennis that you
that's
started
true.
later in life. So
I know.
saxophone seems a little bit of an easier undertaking than hitting the doubles at Bexley Heath Tennis Club.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much, Leslie. I know people are like, who know me, are like, you're like the most unsporty person we know. Because I absolutely hate running, and I really mean hate running, walking, cycling, skiing. But running is like, I've never, even when I was young, I just couldn't do it. I would just start and think I would go for a run, and then after, like, I hadn't even like left my block, and I was like, why was this a good idea? So yeah, so I've never been super sporty. That all went to my sister. So I got the dancing and I got the singing. She got the music and the sports. And honestly, so people are like, what? You're playing tennis, really?" And I absolutely love it. I just can't even tell you about it. But yeah, it's great. Oh my gosh, Leslie, I'm like all a bit like hot and flustered from this whole situation. So let's go for a break, and we got some more for you. So see you soon. Hi everyone, welcome back after your little break. Wow. Okay, Leslie, I know I'm getting a little bit worried here, to be honest, because we've not spoken a word about decluttering. So people who might tune in for the very first time are probably going, I thought this was a decluttering podcast. What on earth is happening here?
Spoiler alert, we won't be talking about decluttering on this podcast. This is a little bit of fun. We have done it once before this year as well, but it seemed to go down quite well. So basically, this is the ramblings of Ingrid and Lesley in Ingrid and Lesley Go Global Week. So we hope that you're strapped in for the ride, because we've given you a lot of really, really good content with our fantastic interviews with Tracy and Amy this week. How cool were they, Ingrid? How lucky are
I
we
know.
to be able to have such fabulous people on the podcast? It was so much fun, but that's all in the past now, Ingrid. And now we need to get to the real heart of the matter and talk about our hypothetical. I can't even get my words out. Hypothetical questions. And so this was an interesting one as well. And so it just tells you the difference between Ingrid and I, if I'm being honest. So, what famous person, dead or alive, would you want to be, and why?
Well, this actually was a harder question than I thought.
Well, you said it straight away.
I
Within
know,
five
I know,
seconds. You did. It
I
was not
know.
hard. The washing machine was hard. This was not hard. Immediately, you said who you wanted it to be.
True, true. And then you came with your answer, and I was like, oh wow, maybe I should have gone, yeah, like completely like Mother Teresa or something, or Gandhi, or like a famous explorer, or Albert
Maybe
Einstein, or
I did give you an opportunity to rethink your answer, but you wanted to
I,
stick with it.
I know,
But
I'm
it's a good
staying.
one. It's a good one.
I'm staying. So my famous person that I would love to be, dead or alive, is Julia Roberts. And actually, I love Julia Roberts so much that Anne's second name, my daughter, is Julia.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. I mean, she's just fabulous, though, isn't she? Do you know what I mean? And I think we kind of grew up a little bit on Pretty Woman as well. And it's
Yeah,
just like a fan favorite, isn't it? Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? It's such a feel-good film, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? On
yeah,
so many levels. And
yeah,
so we fell in love with Julia Roberts probably on Pretty Woman, and then she's done some
yeah,
incredible work since. So I do get it. And she's
yeah.
very beautiful.
I know she's got like she's beautiful. She comes across like she's really nice. She's like the face of Chanel. I mean, doing all these amazing, commercials and her jewelry, but still she's not all the time in the limelight either. She's not you're not
That wouldn't
being
suit you, would it?
hmm?
That wouldn't suit you.
But I really, she's like, and I love, she's got such a diverse career. Like Erin Brockovich is like such an amazing movie. I mean, there's so many that she's done that I'm thinking, amazing. So yeah, it started all with Pretty Woman, but all of the other movies as well. So many that I thought, oh,
So
I love
is
that.
it the beauty? Is it the acting? Is it the body of work? Is it the fact that she's nice? What is it that draws you to Julia Roberts?
Just,
I need
I
to
just,
know.
all of the above, honestly. Like she's like complete package. Like she seems so nice and she's beautiful and she can act amazingly. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Julia Roberts, without a shadow of a doubt, Lesley.
Julia Roberts. Do you want to know who mine? Well, you know who mine is, don't you? Because
Yeah.
we did have a discussion about it before. So I think mine, on balance, is the Queen. The Queen, I mean Queen Elizabeth, right?
Yeah.
So because I think that the royal family, who I love actually, so I am quite a royalist. I think, and whether you are or not, I think she's had such an incredible life where, she's done so many things. And I think she maintained her discretion as she had to do in the royal family. And it's one of the only places now where we don't really get an insight into what's going on. And obviously we've watched things like The Crown, and I'd love to really know what was going on. But, we've seen it and we think that The Crown is actually real life
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
don't we? Yeah, The Crown is definitely what happened. And so I just think, the people that she's met, the things that she's done, the decisions that she's made, the decades that she's lived through, the troubles that she's had. She's an incredible woman with a fantastic life, and a sad loss actually when we lost her. But I just think how interesting would her life have been? And I'd love to
Mm,
be behind the scenes to see what that was. So the
yeah.
Queen is mine.
Wow. I mean, yeah, and amazing. Of course, we've got a royal family as well in the Netherlands. So I've always been quite a royalist as well. So for me, when I started living here in the UK is 17 years ago, I think it is now, it's like I love all the pageantry around it. I don't know, just the, the way she carried herself is like totally awe-inspiring,
Yeah.
and how she was just so, and how hard her job and her life must have been at times as well, because of course people, oh, she travels, she's in money, but like every family, they've got troubles and they've got problems and they've got things going on. It's no different than anybody else. So, but to be in that spotlight for such a long time, and to, yeah, in my opinion, do so much good, and be so interested. And she was such an amazing person for always showing up and always being interested in other people and being so well prepared. She always came across very well prepared, and I really appreciate that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Really, really interesting. I think, whatever you think about the royal family and, whether you love them or loathe them, think they should be here or not, I think when the Queen died, there was definitely a sense that she did her duty.
Mm.
She was given that lot to do. She didn't choose it, did she? And she did her duty to the best of her ability. And, I admire her for that. But I think, so there's that element to it. I admire her as a person. It's the people that she's met, the conversations that she's had, and what kind of happened behind the scenes, because I'm always interested to know the actual real gossip. You know what I mean? That's a few
Yeah,
elements of it.
a little sneak peek behind the curtain, Lesley.
I know, exactly. So
Yeah.
that's my person. So did I tell you that I went, I think you know this. So I was on the Mall. I know you were on the Mall quite recently because you went for the VE Day, the 80th anniversary of VE Day celebrations, didn't you? So you
Yeah.
went to see a lot of pageantry on the Mall near Buckingham Palace a few weeks ago. I was down there when I was 12 years old for Charles and Diana's wedding. So I camped out on
Wow.
the Mall overnight to watch the royal wedding in 1981, I think it was. Honestly, it was one of like the best things. Things were different though back in you just left your stuff at the side of the road and went across to watch the fireworks in Green Park, and it was all chilled and your space was there when you come back. I mean, now it's like a military operation, isn't it? To get there, you've
Yeah.
got to be there for like 72 hours before and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a little bit different now. But yeah, one of my real childhood highlights, and I went with my auntie. So real highlight for me. So I think that's was sowed the seeds of me being a complete royalist, I think. So yeah. So that's my person,
Interesting.
the Queen and Julia Roberts. In another life, who we could have been,
Yeah.
Ingrid.
Yes. 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 Oh my gosh, Leslie. Well, I'm loving this. So, but we got one more. We got one more for you. Okay. So, if you could have any superpower for 24 hours, what would it be?
Right, you do yours then first.
Okay. Well, that was, I think, quite an easy one for me. I immediately went, yeah, that's the one. I would love to time travel. Could you imagine just going back in time and go to when Queen Victoria was still alive and they were like doing up the Houses of Parliament and the building the Big Ben, or to go back to the Golden Age and see all the VOC ships travel, or go to seeing the castles being built, or go to the times from Bridgerton, like the Regency times with all the poofy dresses and
You've
the
only got
hair.
24 hours though, so you can't see
I
castles
know.
built. Like I feel
I
like
know, I know, I
like
know, I know.
200 years or whatever. You've only
I,
got 24 hours, so you're gonna it's this
I,
speedy trip.
I know this is a speedy trip. I would love to go to the Roaring Twenties and have like a flapper dress. I would love to, do disco in the 70s because I still feel that I was born too late. I'm a total fan of disco. I mean, so many things, Leslie. So many things that it's absolutely fascinating, going back to maybe Roman or Greek times and see all the temples and how the pyramids, in when how they build them, and wow, it's gonna be a busy 24 hours. Let me tell you, I've got about 10 minutes per like slot.
Oh, there's the pyramids. Cool. Oh,
Yeah,
there's a
uh,
castle being built. Whoops, off we go
yeah,
to do a night out in a flapper dress. So yeah, no, it's
yeah.
gonna be no. I think to be fair, I think time travel is a fantastic one, and I think on balance that would be my choice. But because you chose it first, I'll let you have it. And so I am actually going to choose like invisibility. And I don't know whether that's because I'm like nosy and want to see what people are saying about me, or if it's for good purposes. I'd like to think it would be for good purposes, where you could have an impact on somebody by being invisible and kind of like direct operations from behind the scene. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
I think
mm,
being
mm.
invisible might be good, but I know a lot of people when they talk about invisibility, it comes at a price, doesn't it? It's only for 24 hours though. So I think
Yeah,
I'd like to be invisible.
I think you just want to listen and eavesdrop on other people. That's what I think how you want to do.
And I'm trying to spin it in a positive frame of
Yeah,
a positive light, but actually, I just want to listen to what other people have got to say. Yeah, I just think
yeah.
it'd be really fascinating, wouldn't it? Because we
So do
all
you like So do you like Harry Potter then? Because he had an invisibility cloak. Is that where the idea comes from?
I've never watched Harry Potter. Well, that's a lie, actually. I went with Nathan when he was a child and fell asleep in the cinema, and then I've never watched it since.
You've never read the books.
No.
Oh my God. This is number 6 in today's podcast. Shocking things that we didn't know about each other. Wow. How can I,
All
how can
those things, Lord of the Rings.
I, Leslie?
I told you, we've said so many times this relationship should not work in any way, shape, or form, but it totally does. Yeah, I'm not into all of that kind of. I'm not into science fiction. I'm not into I don't even know what it's called. Like that Harry
You're not
Potter
into
or
you're
Lord of the
not into
Rings.
you're not into Lord of the Rings,
No,
Star Wars,
no, no,
Marvel.
no. None of it. I wouldn't
Oh.
pay you to watch it. No, no, I
Oh my.
don't watch any of those things. I mean, I might have had to watch some of them when I took my kids to the cinema. I probably fell asleep, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? And it just doesn't interest me, that sort of stuff. What do they call it?
Wow.
Like, what's it called? It's got a name, hasn't it, that genre of film?
Yeah, like is it more like sci-fi? Is that what you mean?
Well, sci-fi, yeah, sci-fi I definitely don't like, but I just I don't even know what it's called. You know, kind of Lord of the Rings. But it's got a name.
Yeah.
You watch all the time. You should know what it's called.
Yeah, but I can't think of what like the name, but I've seen them all. Like all.
I
I
know. I
haven't read
know.
the Lord of the Rings books, but I've seen all of the films. We even have the books set downstairs. I've now just finished a second lot of watching all the Marvels. I know, third time? Third time we watched all the Marvels, like all of them in order, like from the beginning.
I think it takes a lot of effort, you know, to.
Oh gosh, it's so amazing. Honestly, I must admit though, I did like Star Trek, I did like Star Wars. Marvel never really grabbed me, and then it was lockdown and we had nothing else to do, and I said, right, okay, well, let me watch Iron Man because that's the first Marvel, and let me see what it's all about. And I honestly, within 10 minutes, was hooked. And now when there's new Marvel out, we're like, poof, we're like going to the cinema, or we're trying to, yeah, I watched all the spin-off series. I mean, like, yeah, amazing.
Right, one last question then, not a hypothetical. You've got one last
Okay.
question. Favorite film ever?
Oh, that's easy. The Shawshank Redemption with
Okay.
Morgan Freeman, because Morgan Freeman is my favorite actor. That's like
Apart from Julia Roberts.
yeah, you got Julia Roberts in the female, and then Morgan Freeman, and of course the whole Shawshank. I've seen it. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen it. I can see, and I can see. If you say to me, "Let's take the afternoon off and let's watch a film," it will be the Shawshank Redemption. I love it.
I'll be not with you on that.
So, what's your favorite film then?
Meet the Parents.
Meet the Parents.
Have you not even watched it?
I don't think so.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. You have
I
to
don't.
watch that. It's the funniest film ever. She's writing
I
it
don't think
down.
I've seen
Write
it.
it down. You've never seen
Yeah, I
Owen
can't
Wilson,
remember.
Owen Wilson. And what's his name? I can't remember what his name is now. So
I know.
you got
That's our menopause brain, Leslie, that we can't
I
think
know
of these
exactly.
things in the
It's like
moment.
I know we can't even remember what the like our favorite film. Can't remember the like main actor in it or whatever. Stop the recording and Google it. Yeah, so Meet the Parents versus the Shawshank Redemption. Julie Roberts versus the Queen. Dancing or playing the saxophone. Both want to be police officers. And
Yeah.
Japanese versus Italian. We are officially chalk and cheese.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so what has that got to do with Reset Your Home, Ingrid?
Absolutely nothing, but I've totally loved recording this podcast. And you know what? I think it's really, many people have listened to us for a very long time, and they all want to know stuff from us, right? They want to
Maybe,
know.
maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe they don't want to hear the
Jury's out.
ramblings.
Do you actually want to know all this stuff, or is it just because we enjoyed recording it that made it fun? But I mean, wowzers! This is episode 358, right? So, and still we can find stuff to talk about, and I still find out stuff about Lesley, like the fact that she's never even watched or read Harry Potter. I mean, mind-boggling. Let's be honest.
I know.
Um,
Are you disappointed? Have you got your disappointed face on for that?
well, I have to take time to let this sink in. Yeah.
I know, exactly. That's it. Business partnership over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we need to get serious now. It is Ingrid and Lesley Go Global Week, and we are here talking absolute gibberish and nonsense for the first time this week because we've had given you two fantastic podcasts with Amy and Tracy so far. So today we thought it was time for gibberish and time for a little bit of light-hearted fun. And so, but we are here to celebrate the launch of Reset Your Home in the US and Canada. Our book did really well in the UK. It's doing really well in Australia and New Zealand. And we would love nothing more than it to do well, of course, in the US and Canada, where we've got such a strong following and have since the beginning of the podcast. We We love having such a fantastic global audience. We feel very privileged. We feel very kind of grateful every day. It's what makes things interesting for us that we've got people from all over the world. So we just wanted to do this week to celebrate you, to celebrate the launch of the book, and to bring our teachings to you. So we'd love you to support us if you've not bought the book already. And so many of you lovely people from North America have already bought it from the UK months ago anyway. But if you haven't, it's there. It's available on the 24th of June, which I think is tomorrow. Go out and buy it, please, and make our book a success, because that's what we would absolutely love. So we've got loads of podcasts that we did back in February about what the book is all about. So if you don't know what it's all about, pop back and listen to those podcasts as well, so that we don't have to repeat ourselves. But basically, it's a culmination of everything that we've done and more in the last 357 episodes of our podcast, minus the ones where we talk about ourselves, right?
Absolutely, Lesley. We appreciate you listeners tuning in, week out to our podcast so much. And we absolutely love it that you're here, giving us ideas, responding, leaving comments. And of course, please follow us, subscribe, leave a review, and all of those things. And make sure that you tune in tomorrow and Friday for the rest of podcasts from Ingrid and Lesley Go Global Week, because tomorrow we have, for the third time coming, Matt Paxton, who is such a great guest on our show. And we asked him to come and join us for a conversation. And Lesley honestly did an amazing podcast with Matt. And on Friday, we have a very special guest, and that is Gretchen Rubin. So tune in to both of these episodes. We couldn't be more delighted to bring this to you in this week. And of course, don't forget to check out our book on declutterhub.com/book. You will find all the details there. But for now, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks so much for listening to the Declutter Hub podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to us in your podcast player so you don't miss an episode, and we'll see you next week.